Hi, I'm Jessie Abbott from Valley News Now, and I'm here with Mel Dahl.
Hi, Jessie.
Hi. We're here at Mindful Healing Method.
Yes.
Yes. And so we're going to talk a little bit about what Mel does. We were at our office and we had a little snafu, so we decided to come over, and wow, am I ever glad. It is just calm and wonderful. The energy is fantastic. They might not get rid of me today.
Thank you so much. And what I just felt was amazing was we were at your office and we had a transition and it was just like, let's do it. Let's go with it. And I just loved how you went with it, Jessie.
Well, you too.
It was amazing.
You too.
Took a deep breath. Okay. Let's move on. And that's so much what mindfulness is.
Oh, cool.
Right.
Well, let's jump right in. Yes.
Okay. So as Jessie said, I'm Mel, and I'm so excited that I get to meet with Jessie today. This is the first time we're ever meeting.
Yes.
So it's kind of neat for us to meet together. And really just talking a little bit about the transitions of offering some coursework online and really what the heartbeat behind mindfulness and these courses are about.
Well, cool. So let's hear what that heartbeat is. A lot of you have heard probably of mindfulness. I feel like it's becoming more common to start to practice mindfulness, and it is a life-changing journey. To start to live your life in the present rather than distracted and numb, kind of.
Exactly. And I think the heartbeat of what we were talking about, or what we've been chatting about this morning as we've been together, is really moving out of that stuck thinking. And so I'm going to go back to that example. We could have easily been stuck that it wasn't working, but what happened is we just kept moving through that moment. And so mindfulness is both the awareness of what's happening in that moment, but really adding that non-judgment.
Okay.
So,
That's huge.
That's huge.
Observe yourself, but not judge. And I'm just sort of dabbling and getting into this in my own practice and therapy as well. And it's very easy to judge yourself. It's hard to get out of that. Yes. So your courses guide us there.
Yes. And I love that you said therapy. I love that you said that. I go to therapy too. I love that you say that. That is so vulnerable and awesome. And 87% of people are more judgmental with themselves than with others. And so that's huge.
It is. And it's so true. We were just kind of, this is a silly thing, but we were just kind of talking about weight over the weekend. And it was like, I don't care. If my friend gains 5 pounds or 100 pounds, I love them. I love them, But when it's us, all of a sudden, no, I don't know if I'm lovable anymore.
Yes.
It's just silly.
It's exactly right. Or I was speaking at an event last week, and the topic came up of rerunning a conversation through your mind. Like I asked, raise your hand, how many times have you left somewhere? And for the next hour, you're running through that conversation, that thought through your mind. And every single person raised their hand.
Wow.
Right? And it was like, okay, how many times are we trying to go back and change the conversation? And it's done. We can't do that. It's that internal talk, that internal dialogue, and the course addresses that specifically.
That's amazing. Okay, so talk about what you're kind of doing now and helping with change on a larger scale.
Yeah, so the Mindful Healing Method, which you used at first, is an online platform that's going to be offering courses. And the first course is Mindful Self-Talk. And it's exactly the word, mindful self-talk. So we're changing that negative self-talk to be really kind to ourselves. And it's over 6 modules. And the first 3 are mindfulness based. So we're stepping into complete awareness of mindfulness. And then the last 3 modules are working with specific tools on self-kindness, self-compassion, and then practicing with grace for ourselves.
And it seems, when I first started learning about it, and I think it feels like it's simple, but it is not. And it's so, I don't know why our default is to talk negative to ourselves, if that's, just a human condition or a cultural thing or what. But to change that, you really got to be intentional about it. Yeah.
And that is our default. Our default is to be really hard on ourselves. It's hardwired in because we have what's called a negativity bias. And so the negativity bias is part of our brain. It's trying to keep us safe. So let's say you and I are together and I say something really silly, and I'm completely embarrassed about it, but you don't care.
Right.
You it's done, it's over with. But I'm thinking, I hope I never say that again. I never want to offend Jessie, right? But you're saying, I didn't even think about it.
Right. Didn't even occur to me.
Exactly. But my mind is stuck on it, right? And so our minds do these neurological feedback loops, and they're the mind's ways of protecting ourselves in that negativity bias. And in mindfulness, we stop that. We say, okay, the mind wants to do this. Here's what would be a healthier and more effective way instead. And then we have this new path, and now we're creating a new pattern, much more kinder to our brain and our body.
And so it sounds like we can kind of reroute ourselves so that our default isn't negative. It's going to take some work.
Totally.
But that we can make a new rut. That's a positive one. All right. We all need to do this.
Yes. Yes, exactly. And the thing is that we can change the way we think.
Wow. We
can do it. We have to get through those blocking beliefs. And that first blocking belief might be, I can't change the way I think. Not true. I absolutely can.
Wow. We
have research to show it. Okay. We have research to show we can have and grow a growth mindset. And we have the research.
And that is step one.
That's step one.
An actual thing. Yes, we can change the way we think.
We can change the way we think.
Let's do it together. When I think of all the negative self-talk that you do and, that you don't even realize you're doing, and it's just constant. And if we could change that, wow.
That reminds me, I saw this really beautiful video. It was a mom walking around, and she comes into her home, and she drops her bags, and she looks around, she goes, oh, I'm such a slob. And then her daughter's watching her, right? And then she goes into the kitchen, and the daughter says, did you get the glue? And mom says, oh, I'm so stupid. I forgot the glue, right? And then she goes into the bathroom, and she puts her outfit on, and she says, oh, I'm so fat. And then later on, the daughter is playing in her room. And those 3 things she says out loud while she's playing. And at the end of the video, it says, they're not just watching, they're repeating. And and so it's that
goosebumps.
Right, yes. And so it's that internal dialogue brought out later. And so we absolutely, hopefully I didn't just make loud noise when I hit that.
You're good.
We bring that to our kids, right?
Yeah.
And so we don't want that for them.
No.
I have children too, right? And so we don't want that for them.
No.
But we are modeling that, even unintentionally.
Wow.
So it's just very powerful.
It is.
And I feel like this huge shift is happening right now for us to really dive into how do we want to be intentional and how we relate to ourselves. Since we're 95% subconscious, that's huge.
Wow, 95%? All right. So if we're 95%, this is blowing my mind, subconscious, and we're spending 0 time on that, that's insane.
Exactly. Yeah. So this video isn't for this mom to get hard on herself, or for us to be hard on ourselves. It's saying, she's working on saying, raise that awareness. Right? Yeah. I had chills too when I saw it, because it's like that 95%, that was just her dialogue. Yeah. She was just going through her day at all those checkpoints, right? Yeah. And if I went around the room, raise your hand, how many women could do that?
Oh, yeah.
Every single one of us, right? And so I've been teaching this for almost 9 years.
Wow.
And every time women raise their hands, they say, that's me. I can relate. I understand. And I say, great. Now let's work. now let's do it. Let's start there.
It's one thing to find out, okay, this is why, this is something that's limiting me, something that's kind of harming me, but now we got to change it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And not only for us. And I want to. Exactly. And not only for us, but for our kids as well. Right. But I'm kind of learning more and more too that it sounds cliche, but you really can't help other people, heal other people, nurture other people unless you're healing yourself first. Yeah. Yes. But it's like a real thing. It's not just like a meme.
No, you're getting it, Jessie. Right? Yes, exactly.
Like, no, you really actually have to be whole and well, and then you can give to other people. And the difference will be night and day.
You're getting it. Yeah, you have to be authentic in it. And when that shift starts to happen, your body likes it too. Because the brain and body don't know the difference between if I say, gosh, Mel, you really messed up. And if you said to me, gosh, Mel, you really messed up.
Really? Okay,
Yep.
that's very interesting.
Yes, and that's the science behind it. So my psychology, my psychological state doesn't know the difference. So how powerful is that, right?
Extremely.
So that we know what we speak is what we hear, and what we hear we believe.
Yes.
Right? And so if you say that to me, that would hurt me.
Oh, yeah.
But we need to bear the same weight that if I say that to myself, that will hurt me too.
That's crazy. It really is. Because you think of, too, like, how powerful maybe something a teacher said to you one time, like a positive or negative. And sometimes it just takes one little thing, and you're like, oh, that really changed my life, that they saw that in me in a positive way. And to think we're saying negative things and that our brain doesn't know the difference between you saying it to me or me saying it to me, I better start being a lot kinder to myself.
And that there would be huge incentives to do that. Even just something really small like, I can get through this. Even though this is hard, and this is another important thing too. Affirmations are beautiful, right? And they have to be paired with reality.
Yes.
So let's say you're going through something really tough. I have a friend right now who was diagnosed with a chronic illness.
Oh, wow.
I'm not going to tell her that she's healthy, right? Her affirmation is not going to be, you're healthy.
Right.
That's not true.
Right.
But if she wants to know that she's going to get through it with the best mental state she can have, that might be more true, right? And that she's going to have as much support as possible, right? That could be more true. So the brain likes truth.
Okay.
We don't like false information. Just think about that.
Yeah, we
go through
that's
life.
Not real.
Yeah, and even kids, they're always seeking truth.
Definitely.
They're constantly seeking. I always say, as a therapist, kids can handle truth, and they can handle trauma as long as it's truthful. Kids don't like things that are truthful.
That is
right.
That is so true.
Yeah.
You know, I know we were getting real earlier today and talking about. I'd recently been through a divorce. The thing that was the toughest for my kids was, boy, I'm going to get real here. We wanted to present it. We thought we were presenting in a very healthy way, and wanted to say, this is like a mutual decision that we made. And, you know, everything's okay, and da-da-da-da-da. Well, the truth is, everything's not okay. I mean, we wanted it to be okay, but even our kids were like, okay, there's more to the story. And not that they need to know all the details, but I guess what I'm getting at is the part that has been the hardest for us to get through is any time that we haven't been just honest.
Exactly.
And because that's what we're finding out too. And they're adult children, but they want the truth and can handle the truth.
Exactly.
And trying to protect them, it really did way more harm than good. And now we're kind of in the process of repairing that relationship. But it is, the truth is really, all those things are true. The truth will set you free, all of the things.
It's just so true. And I'm so grateful for that. And that's been my experience too, as someone who's also been divorced.
Yeah.
Whenever I've thought that I will just share this much, what my kids have truly needed is truth and love and comfort.
Yeah.
And that has just helped them feel even more safe every single time.
Yep.
And the reason is our bodies need it too.
Yeah.
We can't just give it a nice little blanket without that other piece.
They're smarter than that. I mean, we all are. We can
and our
feel
bodies
it,
are
and
too.
our bodies are too. Yeah. So it's like they know that doesn't feel right, and so we think it might be a kinder thing to say, but really the truth, nothing beats the truth.
That's exactly right. Yeah. And so the brain, going off of that, the brain says, "Oh, okay, now I can problem solve. Now I can go with this. Now I can work with this.
Now I can start to deal and
now
process.
I can start to deal and process this new truth."
Okay, that's so interesting. Man, okay,
so helpful.
I feel like we could talk for like 5 hours.
It's true. It's true. And there's not really anything that anyone is going through in their own life. One of the gals who's going to step in and start kind of building out co-facilitation with the course, something she says I love. She says there's not one person who doesn't need this in their life, whether male, female, and that's true. And I think that that's really helpful to know, is that we all have these deep-rooted patterns, and bringing them to the surface and then learning how to work with them in a really adaptive way. There isn't anyone who can't benefit from that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how how nice your life is, or how wonderful your circumstances are.
Or how, like me, how much you think you know.
Right.
You don't know. You're always learning.
You're always learning.
Yes.
I love that you said that you also go to therapy, because I think therapists that also go to therapy are the bomb. Yeah.
Thanks. It just means that we're always working on ourselves. Right?
We're never
Mentoring.
there. It's a journey. It really is a journey. You think, oh, I dealt with all my stuff and I got here. No, you got to keep going.
Exactly. And that just is such a good, huge service to the people around you.
Yes.
Because you're saying, I'm willing to step into self-awareness. I'm willing to step into self-reflection. And to me, the big word is that growth mindset. I'm willing to continue to grow in my mind so that I can be available for the people I love longer, right? More present, more engaged. I make mistakes. I'm willing to forgive myself. I'm willing to forgive others. I'm willing to be kind through my mistakes. It's just more ease. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. So I think about what you said, being, forgiving and being kind to others, but also yourself.
Yes.
Because you wouldn't treat your child that way, or your best friend, or anyone. I mean, some of the ways we talk to ourselves, you wouldn't talk to anyone like that.
Yes, 100%. You wouldn't have friends if you did.
No. Yes. And just that little nugget that you told us about, that your brain doesn't know the difference between me telling me or you telling me, that's very, very powerful.
Yes.
Because we all know how you can read, and working in the news, people comment, right, on things. And so you can read 8 million positive comments, and you read one negative comment, and that's the one that sticks with you.
Yes.
So when you turn that around and think of, you're the one posting all those negative comments about yourself, stop it. Come and see Mel.
or how about this? Like, we come from complicated families.
Yes.
Right? Or you have things in your family where you might have pain in your family, and I would almost guarantee everyone who's listening has a family member where there's hurt or pain, right? And a lot of times there are things you can't change.
Right.
And you might want to, but you can't. And so it's really about saying, okay, what part of this can I accept? How do I deepen my love and connection towards myself and the relationships I really value? And that helps you build out your boundaries for yourself. It helps you build out your self-worth. And self-worth is different than self-obsession, right? Self-obsession is me first. I can't do anything without me.
Right.
Self-worth is I have a genuine understanding that I hold value and worth, and I'm okay in that, and I want to stay in that place. And that's just so important.
Oh, it's so important. It's like the again, one of those very first steps to being able to nurture others too.
Yes.
This is amazing.
Yay.
Thank you so much. So Mel Dahl, and it is a mindful healing method.
Yes.
I mixed up the words earlier today. So.
That's okay. It's a lot of mindfulness. It's just a lot of mindful words.
A lot of mindful
and
words.
when we were talking earlier, Jesse's going to send out different things to send you guys to links. And
And so Facebook is a great place to go.
Yes.
The link for her website is right there. But if you recently talked about talking at Microsoft, a business that wants to create that culture where people can really succeed and thrive, and I mean, it would just turn everything around to have you come.
The words that come to mind. I interrupted you.
No, you're good.
Sorry, but
you're good.
Cohesiveness and connection, because we're letting those walls down, right? And we're building that cohesive connection experience.
Yeah. And there's nothing like that, to move forward.
No.
I always tell people you have to interrupt me because I don't stop talking.
Okay.
So anyone, always feel free to interrupt. But thank you so much, Mel.
Thank you,
I
Jessie.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, we will let you go now, but make sure you check out her Facebook, and I'll give you some links here below as well. But it's Jessie Ahmet from Valley News Now.
Thank you.